They do well in Master League Classic without using any legendaries. That's what we're gonna put to the test today. I've built 5 teams, which I think are quite decent, without using any legendaries or shadows for that matter. So pretty cheap team. And we're just gonna do a full set with each of them, see how they do. Also, keep in mind the battles I'm about to show you are all done around legend rank. I was around 3000 elo at the time, so these teams may work better or worse depending on the meta in your region. You know, what I've noticed from the legend rank players is they all run like triple or double legendary lines, and from streams and videos I've seen from lower rankings, there are more non-legendary lines around, which may make it a little easier to run some of those teams. But it really depends on what you're experiencing. First team, we have a Dragonite Excadrill core with a Snorlax safe swap in the middle. I think this is a pretty solid squad. Dragonite Excadrill really good coverage, and Snorlax is just a pretty good generalist in this meta. I switch into my Snorlax after seeing the Togekiss lead, and I bring in Kyogre, which is awesome because Excadrill definitely wants to avoid this. Probably can't win switch advantage here though, so I'm just gonna have to hope Excadrill can sweep. Just gonna fire off these body slams into the Kyogre. And this should do a good chunk. By the way, I won't be showing the full set. Probably only like 2 or 3 battles per team. Just so that we don't have too long of a video. I think I lag a little bit there and I don't get off the body slam. I'm not entirely sure though. It was a little bit choppy. They get off another move. This is just a surf. I will let it go. They have a Togekiss still, and could be whatever in the back. Maybe it's like, if it's like a Melmetal or a Dialga, I might have some shot. But like Togekiss versus Excadrill actually isn't that great versus Excadrill. Gonna go for a Rock Slide right here. This will hit the Togekiss for super effective damage, but it won't KO just yet. They do decide to shoot it up though, and they're staying in, which is quite interesting. Try to throw your moves at the end of their charm animation, so that's after 1 mid shot or 4 mid shots. That's the perfect timing. Here I throw off a 3 mid shot, which is on alignment, and they get a full charm through. Don't want to do that. Should have thrown 1 more mid shot, but I really thought they would let it go. They don't, but I do get to another Rock Slide right here. What do they have in the back? Likely a Dialga if they're so keen on not throwing a move. Here comes Dialga, and this is why. Well, I haven't talked about this, but you want Draco on your Dragonite. I just don't have a Dragonite with Draco. You want Draco your Dragonite. For situations like that, I would have won that game with Draco. So anyway, next match, another very, very bad lead. In comes Yveltal into my Snorlax. Not the best, not the worst, to be honest, because Yveltal is kind of squishy, so these body slams will start adding up. I'll take this move. Hopefully it's not a Focus Blast, which it wasn't. That's great. Another body slam, or first body slam coming through. And I think like 3 body slams will KO, but he will outpace. He will outpace to 3 Dark Pulses, I'm quite certain. Throw another body slam right here. Nice, nice, nice. This will put him very low. This will put him in a range where another body slam will KO, and they don't throw their move, which is good for me. Means that they have to shoot this if they want switch advantage, which likely do want, because, you know, they don't want Dragonite versus, or they definitely want their Melmetal versus Dragonite. Almost get to another body slam too. Alright, farm down this Yveltal. I'll take this move, whatever it is. I mean, it's an Yveltal. Like, I'm just gonna have to go for the Excadrill sweep once again. Alright, in comes the Excadrill immediately. Here comes Groudon. This is very bad, and it's not even a... I saw a lot of Dragon till Groudon today, and of course the one that gets aligned to my Excadrill is a mid-shot variant. I got a lot of Dragonite Groudon, and they were all against my Dragonite, so it's kind of unfortunate, but alright. In comes a move. I have to shoot this up. I think I can still take this out, most likely, because I do have energy advantage, and two of these runes KO. And they only have 1 shield, so just burn this shield and then fire another Duron. I'm gonna have to fire immediately though, or they're gonna get another Fire Punch. They let it go though, which is a smart move. It's a very smart move, because now the Melmetal gets a little bit of extra farm. And I want to try to catch this, but they throw... I wasn't expecting it to throw it immediately, so I didn't swap out just yet. I was gonna swap out one later, but they throw it. And this, you're gonna see again. Draco, same energy as Hurricane. And I'm actually gonna reach the Hurricane right here. And, well, it doesn't KO. It just barely doesn't KO. Again, another situation where Draco would have given me the win. So yes, if you run this line, definitely run Draco. Hurricane is pretty useless. And in the closing, you definitely want Draco. So I just don't have one, unfortunately. Oh, I probably could build one, but just a lot of dust. Just a lot of dust. Alright, Mewtwo lead. Dragonite actually wins this matchup in the 2s, because you can survive a Side Strike, and these Dragon Breaths are really, really adding up. I'm gonna shoot this up though, because a lot of Mewtwo's nowadays are running Ice Beam, and they might just try to go for him nuke immediately, which I do. That's nice. I'll go for a Dragon Claw right here, which will KO, so they shoot it up. I'll go for another Dragon Claw before they get to another Ice Beam. Now, I will definitely shoot up the next move too. Like, I don't know what could be in the back, but I need to save my Dragonite just in case it's like a Fighter or Kyogre. Since they're staying in, I am expecting like a Fighter and Kyogre. They bring in the Kyogre right here, which is pretty insane, to be honest. It's pretty insane. Go for the Hurricane. But to get to move first, this is a Surf though, which I can easily tank. Like, this is no problem. You don't want to take a Blizzard, but a Surf you can easily take. A Hurricane coming through. Another situation where, like, Draco would have definitely got me the one-shot, but Hurricane does too. Very, very, very nice. In comes Mewtwo again. No, I think Mewtwo is quite low. Breaking my Champ. Like, this is tough for the back line. I want to go for the Dragon Claw. I think they would have farmed me down, but they throw their move instead, which is fine. I probably should have just swapped that right away. At this point, I will go into my Excadrill, because I'm pretty sure I can survive a Cross Chop. And I'll just get to the run right there. If they switch to Mewtwo, the moving kind of tough. But in that case, I think Snorlax can still take the win. I'll just lick down the Snorlax right here. And that is a good game. Those were the 3 battles I wanted to showcase from this team. I ended up going 1-4 with this line. So not great, but 2 of those matches I could have won with Draco Meteor, and like, I got hard countered basically every game. So I still think this line has some play. This is still one I would recommend, though definitely with Draco. Next lineup is very similar, but instead of Snorlax with Metagross for a double steal comp. I'll Dialga lead again. I'll go into Metagross. I swap it to Lugia, which is just really, really, really good to me, because Metagross can resist everything Lugia throws at it, and Meteor Mash still does a bunch. So Metagross does win this pretty nicely. Just have to hit 2 Meteor Meshes, but Lugia also has to hit 2 moves, and they do less than Metagross's moves do. I shoot up an Aeroblast, a really good shoot, but they get that freaking attack buff. And like in Master League, getting an attack buff is so like huge. It changes so much, even more than in a Great League or an Ultra League. I have found. Go for another Meteor Mesh right here. Hopefully I can farm down before they get to 2 Sky Attacks. Go for another Meteor Mesh. Again, it is a Dragonite or a what is it? A Dialga lead. If I had Draco on my Dragonite, I would not shoot right here, because I would just farm down Draco, the Dialga, but I shoot it up and they actually get to another Sky Attack. If they would have not gotten that attack buff, I would have definitely won this switch advantage. But they did, and now I maybe make a dumb play. I swap into Excadrill, getting some farm. I could have maybe just farmed down with D-Knight. I'm not sure. What do they have in the back? It is Giratina. Like, if I would have gotten switch advantage there, I would have definitely won that game. But alright, that's just Lugia for you. Alright, another bad lead. I had like 5 bad leads this set. It was pretty insane. I think Dragonite might not be the lead to go, because there are a lot of Steel types. There are a lot of Dragon Breath users, mainly Dialga. I swapped to Metagross though, and since I have 2 Bullet Punch advantage, I think I get there like before Garchomp does, but they deny my Bullet Punch right here, which means I won't get there. So now I have to let it go. Alright, I think I have 3 Bullet Punch advantage. I have to let it go, because I won't get there anyway. They outpace me, since they denied me, unfortunately. And now, I thought I might be able to survive this. I don't know damage ranges anymore, and then I just quit. Alright. Yeah, I just quit. That was we only have 2 battles for this team, because this is enough to showcase it. I went 0-5 with this squad. Didn't really work out. Honestly, cannot recommend this squad. I think if you go double steal, you probably want Melmetal instead of Metagross. I know it's a legendary, it's not the point of this video, but it is an easier legendary to get. If you want double steal, that's the one I would recommend. I also got wrecked by Kyogre in the back sometimes, and like Melmetal definitely helps there. Team number 3 is Garchomp with Dragontail, Mamoswine, and Snorlax. I really do like the Garchomp Mamoswine core, because Mamoswine help beat some of Garchomp's biggest counters like Lugia and Togekiss, and also does pretty decent against Dialga, which Dragontail Garchomp can sort of struggle with. And then Snorlax is a very flexible third Pokemon. It comes Dialga lead. I don't like staying into that lead, because the Dragon Breaths really do chunk Garchomp, and the Dragontails don't do enough back. So I always just swap into Mamoswine, try to get some shields down. Yeah, I do use Mamoswine as a safe swap, which is kind of risky because there are some Kyogres around and they're a big pain. I think one thing, and they don't shoot my Avalanche, which is crazy. Honestly, you should just double build those. Avalanche was a dumb play. And this put me in a very rough spot. One thing I've noticed when team building with non-legendary teams is you're often very weak to Kyogre, very fast. Like the only real good answer to Kyogre is Dragonite, if you look at not legendaries, right? Everything else straight up loses, because you're either neutral, and all neutral matchups, Kyogre just wins because of its insane bulk, or you're very bad against it if you're like an Excadrill or Mamoswine, right? Or you're Dragonite, which resists everything and does neutral back. So yeah, Dragonite really only the good answer. You also have Gyarados, but like you get Thunderbolt, you get thundered and you're dead. I think if a Kyogre runs Thunder, you actually lose all shield scenarios if they bait, or they just hit the Thunder. So yeah, Kyogre is a big issue. The big issue with non-legendary teams. Honestly, for even if you run legendaries, you sometimes have issues with Kyogre because you don't always want to bring your dragon, right? You don't always want to bring Giratina Dialga, and against teams without Giratina Dialga, like Kyogre is just so strong. All right, it comes Giratina here. What happened there? I feel like we stood still there for a second. It was weird. I don't think it mattered anyway. He had his move ready after 2 moves. Or did I? Oh, I think I farmed down. Yeah. No, I stood still because I wanted to farm down with Snorlax, because I didn't expect the Mamoswine to have a move, but it did have a move ready. And it's a GG. Well played by them. Very well played by them. Another Mamoswine player. All right, good lead. Giratina into my Chomp. This is nice. Though the problem with Dragon-tailed Garchomp is that you're usually gonna have to go a shield down, because you lose to 2 moves usually. I go for the Centum right here, hoping they lost track and they shield, thinking, well, actually this is Earth Power. This could be Nerf Power, I think. So they don't shield though. They don't shield. Unfortunate. Maybe I should have just gone for Outrage. A lot of people don't shield the first move from Garchomp because they expect the Centum. So throwing the nuke there sometimes definitely does help. At this point, I wanted to farm down, but the Power Snows just don't do enough. They just don't do enough. Good thing though is this team destroys Giratina. This team absolutely obliterates Giratina. If I can get Snorlax aligned to the Giratina, which it looks like I can, should be in a good spot. Thing is though, they have a Togekiss. And Togekiss with 2 shields, it's not nice versus Snorlax. Luckily I'm able to burn one shield though and do some Powder Snow damage too. Barely don't get to the Avalanche though. Not great. Really not great. Hopefully they don't boost right there. If they have Ancient Power and they boost, like this is gonna be very, well, it's impossible actually. But they don't boost because they don't have Ancient Power. I go into my Garchomp right there. I'm actually gonna shield this up because this Giratina has way too much health. If I let this go, I will have to go into my Snorlax once again, and the Snorlax will just take too much damage from a couple Dragon Claws. So I need to chip this Giratina down a little bit more before I farm it down with Snorlax. I get off a bunch of Dragon Tail damage, which is really good. Hopefully I can farm it down now. And I think if I farm it down, I should be in a good spot, because like 3 Body Slams should be able to take care of the Togekiss. Like, one will get shielded up, of course, but the other 2 should be able to KO if I'm not mistaken. And I think I get there like right before they get to the move. And I mean like right before they get to the move, because I do have a little bit of farm. Get off another Body Slam. And then another Body Slam right here. And that is a GG. This was the final battle of this team. I ended up going 2-3 with it. It's an alright squad, but again, like Kyogre is just a big problem. I think like 2 of my losses were to Kyogre, because it just kind of wrecks. It just kind of wrecks in the neutral matchups. And we have 3 neutral matchups here. So yeah, if you're seeing a lot of Kyogre in your elo range, like maybe don't run this line, but otherwise I still think it's kind of a fun team. Team 4 is actually the best performing team of the day. Also a team I recommended in my Master League meta overview video I posted at the start of this rotation. It's Machamp, Mamoswine, Togekiss. Mamoswine is kind of like a pivot, and Machamp and Togekiss are just a really solid core. Machamp of course dealing with all the steel types, which Togekiss doesn't like to see. Lead Machamp into Palkia, which is Machamp just doesn't have the stat product that Palkia has. So I think Machamp just straight up loses this because it just doesn't have the same stats. But I think we can probably burn a shield, which would be quite nice. The thing is though, it's already a dragon up front. So what are the odds that there's something for Togekiss in the back? I don't think it's that big, but I do have a Lugia, which is not bad for Tokus. It's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. You can survive an Arrow Blast, and these Dragon Tails don't do that much. Though, once you get hit by like 20 of them, like you have enough chip to where an Arrow Blast does KO. But I'm just gonna no-shoot this anyway. I don't want to get 2 shields down. Definitely not. I go for the Ancient Power right here. Well, it won't do anything. Honestly, they don't really need to shoot, but they do. So that's nice. Maybe they are weak to Tokus in the back. I was kind of worried that they were gonna be weak to Tokus in the back. Like, I don't know. I don't like the Dialga in the back, but that will still be fine for Mamoswine, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what they could have. Extra Drill. So that makes that shield really, really strange. I don't think they should have ever shielded, because Extra Drill could just clean up. Anyway, I'm just gonna let this go. The Lugia is still alive though. And one of these drill runs does enough to where Palkia can basically farm down. And I realized that, so instead of fully charging it, I decided to undercharge to where I can farm this down. Because I need to have moves ready, because like 3-4 Dragon Tails would KO me, so I can't farm up to Avalanche versus the Lugia. Shoot this up, farm it all the way down, exactly to Avalanches, so I'm just gonna throw them back to back, and this should KO the Lugia right here. Come on, Mamoswine. I do really like Mamoswine. I do really like Mamoswine. I might... This comp that I'm currently using is kind of nice, but I think I might try to combine it with some other comps as well. GG. Alright, next game. Machamp lead into Dialga, and honestly, like, this is a favorable lead. Should be, because it's Fighter versus Steel, but Dialga is so insane. Like, it's very, very close. You lose the zeros. The ones is, like, really, really close. In comes Mewtwo. This Mewtwo is very tough for this line. And also, I can't shield. Like, Dialga with a shield advantage can kill Mamoswine and Machamp at this point. Because if I shield the next move, well, I can shield one. If I shield the next move, and I'm shields down, and I charm down the Mewtwo, honestly, Dialga just comes in, farms down. Like if I shoot right here, Dialga just comes in, farms down, throws an Iron Head at my Machamp, dead, throws an Iron Head at my Mamoswine, and I'm dead. I can't shield, unfortunately. Even though I would really like switch advantage, I just can't. Really, really can't. What comes in now? I think it is a Groudon, right? It is. It's a Mudshot Groudon, which is actually kind of nice for me. Because Dragon Tail would have been able to farm me down, but with Mudshot, nope. But like these cross shops aren't doing anything. I think it's worth considering maybe running a Conkeldurr, because Dynamic Punch does more, or a close combat Machamp maybe, because like in this like league, like cross shops are so weak, so weak. Or maybe Shadow Machamp, I don't know. But I've been very disappointed by cross shop damage. All right, this Lugia or this Dialga has a bunch of energy. I think they will only get to 1 Iron Head, but I have to throw my Avalanche immediately. And if I throw my Avalanche immediately, then Groudon will get to a Fire Punch. So actually, I do have to overcharge. I have to overcharge, so I'm 3 away from my Avalanche. Or if I don't, the Groudon will outpace me. So that's what I tried to do, but of course they have a move. I thought I knew that, but yeah, they did. So that is a GG. That was my only loss with that team, actually. I went 4-1, but I will say I did get a bit lucky. In some other matches, like... I just killed their Steel type with Machamp, and then there were 2 dragons in the back, and Tokus just swept. Honestly, I think if you go with a non-legendary line, like, I'm normally not a fan of Charmers, but if you go with a non-legendary line, like Tokus is, I think, the way to go, because you can really cheese some wins with Tokus, because there are some lines that are just extremely weak to it. Alright, team number 5, it's the same as the first line, basically, but just with Machamp instead of a Dragonite, giving Machamp another go, basically. Giratina lead is so bad. And I swap it to Extra Drill. Normally, I would definitely not recommend using Extra Drill as a swap, because there are like a lot of Kyogres around, you know? And so you have the opportunity to get really hard countered, but like sometimes you just have to take the risk. And like it is my soft counter against Giratina. I don't want to swap in Snorlax, because it's likely they have a counter swap for that. In comes another drill run. This will KO the Giratina, so they'll have to shield, which is nice. Okay, now I'm shields up, and one shield up, like Snorlax does pretty well, Machamp does pretty well as well. It really depends on what they have in their back, though. Swap in Snorlax. They bring in Melmetal, which is not bad. I will fire 1 superpower before dipping into Machamp. Machamp is kind of squishy, and I'm not sure if I can farm all the way down if I don't throw superpower there. Well, this will make it way easier, at least. They superpower once. Yeah, look at that. Already just 50%. I'll be able to take the next one. But if I had not thrown that superpower, I would have needed to throw a cross shop into this Melmetal. Because I don't want to take the third. Actually shield up right there. Is that the right move? Maybe I should not have shielded. The thing is though, I'm quite certain they have a better answer for Snorlax in the back. Otherwise it would have not swapped in their mon. It's Tokus. So actually in hindsight, that shield, probably a mistake. Probably a mistake. Because I would have survived that counter down. Then I'd have a shield right here. It's kind of surprising though they... No, it's not surprising at all. I was going to say it's surprising they brought in Giratina get first from Machamp. No, it isn't. It really isn't. I have a Snorlax. No. But at this point it's over. Yeah, if I saved that shield right there, I would have actually won the game. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, that was definitely a misplay then. But I don't know. They let Giratina, and I don't know, but I'm not expecting Tokus in the back for that most of the time. Usually, that's why I shielded. I remember I shielded. Because most of the time when it's Giratina Melmetal, 90% of the time it's Dialga, because Giratina, Dialga, Melmetal is a very common team. So I decided I'll Rock Slide the Giratina, and then I will have some health left for my champ, so I can get a cross shop on the Dialga. That was my whole play, but then was Tokus in the back, which is uncommon, but I still think it was the right move, because usually it's Dialga. All right, Dialga lead. They bring in Groudon, which is tough for my line, very very tough for my line, because honestly, like Snorlax loses his matchup too. So I just want to get some chip with my champ. I wasn't expecting them to throw the Earthquake, so I no shield, and I die. Alright, not great. Still have extra drill on the back for Dialga though. Still have extra drill on the back for Dialga, so this is not horrible. I thought they were one away from the Earthquake, but they are there. Not great. I think I missed one shot somewhere. Another Body Slam. But still, like, I think at this point, I can't go shields down. Shields down extra drill versus Dialga is also not that great. Especially if they have a little bit of energy, so... Yeah, I don't really want to go shields down. I do go for the superpower here though. Hoping to burn a shield. Be great. But if I get chip here, like that's fine too. Going to extra draw right now, I have a Kyogre and I back out. like I said, Kyogre is an issue for these teams, alright? Kyogre is such a pain in the butt. I can't see any more of these wheels. I think my next teams, I'm just gonna go like triple dragon. Just completely counter that damn wheel. Alright, Garchomp lead. That's what I like to see. Well, it is decent. It's better than a lot of other leads. It's at least neutral, alright? I don't really like to see it, but it's at least neutral. I got off my cross shop right here. I'm very lucky to deny his fast move there. Because of that denial, I'm able to simultaneous KO with him there. So it's kind of lucky. Otherwise, I would have lost the lead, most likely. Well, there, Garchomp is gone. I should probably go in Excadrill, actually. Since their ground type is gone, I think Excadrill may be the better swap. But I think my thinking here was also, you know, Snorlax is extremely flexible and that's decent again in neutral matchups. So I go Snorlax. But honestly, since their ground type was gone, Garchomp, maybe Excadrill would have been a better play. But it's always tough. It's always a 50-50 in those kind of scenarios. This is still okay, though. This is still okay. They throw a superpower. I think I tapped my superpower already right there. Hopefully. I don't, but I still get off my superpower anyway. This will KO, since they are double debuffed. Maybe I should have Body Slam, but like, you never know what they have in the back. Oh, it is their own Excadrill. And this swap was really good. Really good from them. There was a bad throw by me. If they would not have caught that, I could have saved that superpower. And their Juron from Excadrill KOs anyway. So, like at this point, I would have been able to kill their Excadrill with my Excadrill, most likely, or at least burn a shield, right? I think in the end, it doesn't really matter, I guess, because he outpaced me anyway, since they have more energy. Yeah, because at this point, I still have to farm down, right? I still have to farm down. I think either way, it would have been the same. It was a nice catch though, but I don't think it mattered in the long run. I have to farm down and superpower the Melmetal, but it was a no bueno, alright? That was the end of the battles. Oh, that was the end of the battles. Yeah, this team... Oh, yeah, this team was awful, by the way. This team was very bad. I don't recommend. I really don't recommend. I went 1-4, but the one game I won was versus someone using basically 10 CP mons. So, yeah, I don't think it's a great team. Don't run it. So, in conclusion, can you do well without Legendaries in Master League Classic? I think it's rough. I think it's rough with these teams. You always miss a little bit of coverage, I feel like, and they just don't have the bulk some of the legendaries have, especially like a Kyogre or Lugia. Like, they're just insane in stats wise. But it also depends on your rating. Again, I these battles around legend rank 3000 rating, and everyone here has the best Pokemon, has legendaries, has skill, like don't make many mistakes. If you're lower rated around 2000, 2500, your opponents are more inclined to make mistakes. Their teams aren't as solid as all the teams are up here. So these teams will be easier-ish to run like on lower ratings, I feel. But again, like you just missed some coverage. Like I covered before, I think every team you run without legendaries either weak to Kyogre or Dialga, because in order to be strong as Kyogre, you almost have to run Dragonite, because that's your only real non-legendary answer to Kyogre. And, well, Dragonite is weak against Dialga, and it's just very hard to make up the coverage for that. Like, you can go double steal as 2 counters, but if you go double steal, like, you don't really have anything safe to swap, so you're very easily just straight up hard counter, which makes it difficult. That's why I think if you go without legendaries, maybe consider making a Melmetal. I mean, it's mythical. It's not legendary. But it's kind of legendary. Alright, anyway. But it's easy to make. It's like the easiest legendary to make. Melmetal. And Melmetal does do decent against the Dialga Kyogre core, which these teams kind of struggle with. That's what I would recommend. Make a Melmetal and complement it with 2 non-legendary Pokemon if you want a cheap-ish team. I think that's what I'd recommend to you. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.